Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to round 6 of the Formula Trout Sprint Series Season 7. This will be quite an unusual stream for people because I'm not normally the one who's starting out these streams. So, last years I've been a cameraman, I've been a streamer, and now I'm joining in as the intern. Right. We are watching along for qualifying at Greifswald, the beautiful track. The home place, or the near home place, I believe, made by Christoph Beuze. He has made this track. It's quite an interesting dynamic. Let's see if I can get to follow along with someone. Here we have Maximilian Junger absolutely sending it down the bollards and going with his rear end into the wall. Let's try to watch along with someone else. Here we have Cody Lawrence, who's currently on 37.024. Also on this front right wheel as we go along. I don't know the names of this, but it's the very tight section that goes kind of down and back and it's really quite an interesting dynamic.
Good evening.
Good evening, Leon. Welcome to the stream.
Hi everyone. So happy to join Case tonight and stream the infamous Greifswald Grand Prix. I'm sure he's filled us in on what's happening so far, but just in case he hasn't, very open series so far. You know, the championship is anyone's for the taking. Current championship leader, oh god, I've just clicked off the screen. Jack Olivier is 89 points, only 2 points ahead of his championship rival Steven Stevenson, but unfortunately Jack isn't able to race tonight, so yeah, that completely leaves it open for anyone to take, really. I believe, let's have a look, not even 20 points separates the top four. We've got Stevenson, Maximilian Junger and Cody Lawrence all competing tonight to try and take that top spot. And if we go to the timing screen to the practice sessions, I believe Cody Lawrence is on the top spot. So, you know, it can go any way, and the tight corners around these the streets of Greifswald, you know, it will be quite demanding for the drivers tonight. So, you know, all eyes on what's happening tonight, really. If you've just joined the series, well, it's nice of you to tune in and put up with this questionable commentary for the next hour or so. But, you know, it's going to be an exciting one. As it currently stands, Cody Lawrence, his last lap was a 1:36.3, and that puts him at the top of the timing board. But Maximilian Junger only 0. Well, let's see, what's the gap there? His time, well, is 1:37. So yeah, just over a second separates them, and the track is constantly evolving as well. So I'm sure we'll see the timings drop as the session continues. I believe all the drivers are on the same compound because of the car that they're driving, so there won't be any difference in strategies as far as I'm aware. But yeah, it should be an exciting session, and I will try my best to make it as exciting as well. Having a few close calls with the barrier for a few drivers, some of them making contact. I believe it shouldn't really hinder them too much. Should be able to get back to the pits and repair that before the end of the session. I'm hearing that the drivers will pretty much not be pitting at all if possible during this session. They'll put enough fuel in to keep them going until the end of the session. And yeah, just over 5.5 minutes to go now. Cody Lawrence still on the top spot. and has improved on his time with a 1:36.1. Stevenson 2/10 behind him with a 1:36.3, and then a pretty big leap to the next driver. Oh no, that's the typical Assetto Corsa timings, not updating during the qualifying session. But Stevenson goes fastest with a 1:35.9, so very impressive. And considering I believe we were looking at 1:36s during the practice session, I could be wrong. So I do apologise if you do hear me eating. This is a feature that we have on the stream. What is Kill Your Tea eating? And tonight it is pasta, a traditional favourite for this house. And the first bite, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. So just be aware, there might be some questionable ASMR going on, and I do apologise for that.
Right, so watching along with Cody Lawrence around Greifswald, I just noticed he was slowing down quite a bit there, like it's a bit more of a capital kind of thing. Because it is quite a tricky track, as we see both of them might go into so we're watching along with Anthony Moreau, I hope I'm spelling it correctly there, in the what is this? Can't exactly recognize it, looks quite nice. I think it's right, the RSR. Let's watch along the front line here with Anthony. Right, going into the first turn, a sharp right hand that opens up just ever so slightly, staying tight to the inside here. Back out to the left as we got a not fast, but also quite a narrow, as you see him here. Going right, and onto the barrier. Absolute drama, but he still manages to go. That is the power of sim racing without physical damage. Now, coming up to the next, the very corner. Personal favorite one of mine. Nice bit extension there, but it's quite risky to go over as you lose grip. The left hand what I think is the large one, it's quite nice. Coming up here to another very tight 90-degree left-hander into the bridge section. And another one right, it opens wide to the left, but it should stay mostly up and goes there. And then we have the most confusing bit here. Goes down, up to the right, maybe slightly rear angle, goes to the rear slightly. He's keeping it going still, let's see what he does. After another sharp right, open right, but it's flat out all the way up to the RS train, but we don't have the RS here, it's a sprint series. Still going on, past the dark housing, might be inspired by the new movie. Down center, and he's gone wide. What's happening here? What's happening here? He's just locked up, I think, and he hits the rear of the wall with his car again. Crazy things happening here, but that unfortunately is his lap. Right, let's watch along now with Maximilian Junger. Going across quite well. He is going to P7, 1.4 seconds on Stevenson. Actually, one thing I would like to point out, we might have just gotten some insider information here, that Ryan Hawk, driver of the CRG racing team, well, first of all, is teleported just back into his pit, so that might be something that stewards might want to review right after the race. He's just teleported back into his pits, but what I want to get onto is we've heard that he might be driving on mouse and keyboard, or at least the keyboard, which I'm kind of suspicious of. But currently 2.2 seconds off, that's not too bad, not too shabby. P8, we might not have that many people driving here, but that's not a problem. Meanwhile, switching over to our next driver, this is Sean Moriarty. Let's watch along with this lad. Quite new to Formula 12, he's doing quite well. So, last race at Silverstone, let's check this out. He has actually finished and P6 in the first round. Over understandings, he's currently P8. So he's actually doing quite well for himself. Yeah, he's a great job. Good P4. Just ever so slightly better than P1. But let's see how he does in this lap. We've got half a minute remaining. looks like just about everybody is out. Except right now, so I think this qualifying may be over for him. Oh, there's a lot of overstay there from Sean. Let's see if he can keep it going. Keeps it safe under the tilted section. It looks like he is kind of lifting off a bit, so I don't think this lap will be for him. Let's watch one with Kevin Vannet. Very beautiful bowling car. The city centre. Nice winding view of that. P5, will he be able to get up to P4 or even P3? Let's see what he does. And that is P5, does improve his personal overall best of this track, but not enough to get fourth or third. Cody Lawrence is there. I thought he was just ending up in the barrier there, he couldn't move along. He is currently tracing Stevenson. Nice wait for the trees, Mark's sitting in the trees. So now Cody's going to get a great advantage here from his teammate in the slipstream. Go into the city centre now, flames spitting out of the exhaust all over the place. He's keeping it nice and tidy. As Cody only just misses out. That was incredibly close, as they gave each other a little touch there on the end there as well. Let's see what else is up. Anthony Barreau is still out there. Let's see what he does. Keeps it nice into the last bench. And does not improve, but is into P6. And that, ladies and gentlemen, will be your qualifying of the day. So we have Steve Stevenson as we move our drone camera into the pit lane. Someone's getting a bit smoky up back. So we have Steve Stevenson for pole position. Cody Lawrence trades in second place. We've got Antoine Bon, Sean Moriarty, we've got Kevin Vannet, Anthony Moreau in P6, Maxi Jung in P7 and Ryan Haag in last place. Interesting of note, Snow Diego appears also to be in the server from what I can see, or in the server on the track. But he's not set a qualifying time, though it also mentioned last lap 1 minute 57, qualifying time 1 minute 41. So that would be quite interesting to note. But let's see what this grid has prepared for us today. It will really be quite interesting. It's quite a narrow track. It's really quite new. I've driven here only for a bit of testing. It is really narrow at some points, but it makes it feel really fast. A lot faster than Monaco. I actually kind of prefer it. It's really quite nice. It's got a nice dynamic to it. It's got the widening of some corners where if you do go off, you have at least a bit more extra space to slow down before you hit the wall. But it really is quite a nice track that we have put up here. And there's also been some extra development since the last time we raced here for Premier Series Season 11, which has also been quite some months ago. Right then, as we load up the grid, we have 1 minute remaining. Bjorn, what are your thoughts about this race?
Apologies as I ate that pasta as fast as possible. Probably will have to deal with some bloating, but oh well. Yeah, I mean, I think it was a fairly standard, straightforward qualifying session. You know, all eyes were mainly on the likes of Steve Stevenson and Cody Lawrence. Yeah, I mean, was it 0.06 seconds separating the top two there? So standard practice from those two. Cody Lawrence apparently getting an extra lap in there at the end, but sorry, I'm trying to hold back a few burps. But yeah, you know, yeah, very very impressive from the two, and you know, we'll have to see how it goes going into the race now. Just have to remind you to reset the car to pit so that you don't end up on the track.
You can see our beautiful camera cars here have already been prepared. Right, let's get on to it.
But yeah, you know, it's fairly it's a bit of a long stretch to the first corner. Let's see, looking at my track description, down to the tower, or as our unofficial track layout refers to as the Bendy Boy. Yeah, it should be, well, as it currently stands, P1 has the inside line, whereas P2 will have the racing line. So depending on if Cody Lawrence gets a better start, he could end up ahead here. As I mentioned previously, all drivers will have the same compound tyres, so the strategy not really a thing here, but more of a war of attrition. As the lights begin to appear. 6 lights in Assetto Corsa. The first, the second, the third, the fourth, the fifth, and the sixth are red. Lights out, away we go. And it looks like Stevenson's got a decent start. And I even though said, oh dear, there's a bit of argy-bargy at the back. Not as long as straight as I thought there'd be. I think I mixed it up with this one now. Stevenson holds the inside there, goes a bit deep into one of the scariest sections of the track. Goes through School 1 and School 2, I believe they're referred to as. Stays ahead, and Lawrence will have to concede and deal with staying behind for the time being as they go through the 90-degree sections now. Very Baku-esque. And a gap slowly begins to form already as Stevenson puts his foot down and manages to break away from Lawrence as they go through the train section, or the Dust 2 as for some reason it's on my notes here. Down towards the marketplace now. And this is the longest straight on the circuit. Big braking zone. And possible chance for opportunity for overtaking later in the race as Barreau, I believe, makes it up into P3. And
I think we have 2 and 1 here, and actually takes the place. Oh, and 2 and 1 going up to P4. This is a right scrap. This is.
Yeah, Stevenson will be looking to make as many points as possible now, and this will put him ahead in the championship if he wins this race. Lawrence, unfortunately, did not finish the last race due to connection issues. So he is on the back foot in the points, unfortunately, but I'm sure both drivers just looking to survive tonight, as this circuit can be very unforgiving. Fortunately enough, these cars are quite small and dainty, and they're able to maneuver around them these tight street circuit corners. Already a massive gap between second and third. Lawrence just about holding on to the 1 second gap here. Oh, and as he gets a lot of oversteer and practically drifts around that corner.
Really trying to look for an opportunity here on the right one, quite possibly driving into the schema. I believe that. Up to corner 3. Snipping him. No, he doesn't. He is there. It's close to the right. There's a speed on here. On the exit of this turn.
Lawrence falling behind with each lap that goes by, but still keeping him within arm's reach. Actually gains a few tenths there.
This battle between Sean and Warren is actually quite interesting. You think the team has to try to be with careful, especially on such a narrow track like this, is just going arching everywhere and using the roads. They really should try to look out for each other.
Yeah, I mean, it's a 20-minute race, or 22-minute race, sorry. So plenty of chances, you know, for overtakes coming up, but I'm sure within the first couple of laps, that's where your best opportunities are. But you can also lose it all, and you know, practically have to sit out the rest of the session if you're not careful. Lawrence is eating into whatever lead that Stevenson had, back down to just a second between the two.
I'm
sure, but
eats the curves. And it is really quite interesting because at this point we should also really take into consideration the team standards. Currently CRT are in P5, which isn't too shabby, but if they're going to keep pressing like this, you want to maximize points in races like this, you want to try to do it as safe as possible. As you mentioned, Cody Lawrence appeared quite a few tenths there from Stevenson, so this might get a lot closer as he's obviously benefiting from the slipstream on the long straight. With Sean, meanwhile also F317 catching up slowly behind him. Just like getting some overstay there, the extra left behind the lead.
I remember hearing just before the race start that Stevenson was failing to match Lawrence's race pace, so we might see an ace up his sleeve as the race does head into the middle part of and you know, Lawrence does come alive, but all still to play for with just over 18.5 minutes to go. Big lock up there from Stevenson, and yeah, there we go, down into just under a second between the two now. Younger on the tail of Barrow as well. Just a second separates those two as well for the final step in the podium. And it's heating up so much that I'm going to have to lose a layer of clothing because it's really hot in here.
Series with the DRS points, he would have now the benefit on the long straight catching, but unfortunately, it's all about through performance and second points. None of that back assistance systems here.
Yeah, Lawrence is eating into his lead as a big lock up there from Stevenson that just gave away whatever lead he had. Now Lawrence is all over the rear of him, trying to look for a way around. Goes around the outside, but Stevenson has him covered. I believe Stevenson made a mistake on the previous lap there, made contact with the wall a few corners back as well. Only 3/10 separate them as Younger finally gets into the tops, onto the bottom step of the podium, but I believe Barrow gets it back. While all this is going on, it's worth mentioning that Hawk, even though he's using a keyboard to navigate his way around this track, was up in 7th place. Has just finally been overtaken by Bannett. And they've crashed! There's a contact between the two, and Stevenson's facing the wrong way, down into 4th now. That will not help his lead, and I hope that there was not damage on Lawrence's car. I unfortunately did not quite catch that. Did you?
I didn't. I was only noticing because it was just swap and then boom, he was all the way around. And now we have Maxi Younger in P3 and P2 Cody Lawrence leading the race with a 4.3 second gap. That's quite significant. That was unfortunate.
Just as I was praising Hawk, he unfortunately succumbed to a similar issue and was facing the wrong way as well. Lawrence. Yeah. They say these things come in threes. Well, we've seen two so far. Stevenson manages to make his way back up to fourth. But over 4 seconds separates first and second now. Can Barreau reel in Lawrence as he's probably a bit shook up, slightly out of his groove potentially. I probably think that the damage modifier has been lowered for this track. I could be wrong, but I presume it'd be a bit more forgiving than other circuits considering it's a street circuit. I know that isn't normally the case in real life, but this is sim racing, and we like to be a bit kind for the drivers. I could be completely wrong though. There's Lawrence now nearly 5 seconds ahead of his nearest rival on track.
Efforts for them to see that they really keep these thus far. The two green Jaguars nice and big right behind them.
Yeah, there's a bit of a train behind Barreau, and considering Barreau's best finish so far is P3, he'll be looking to hold on to P2 as best as possible, and still a long way to go with just over 13 minutes around this racetrack. You can just about see the leader down the end of the straight there, but I wonder how long he can hold on to this as Younger can sniff P2, and trust me, that boy, he thirsty. Stevenson very close now, so very reminiscent to what was happening in Baku earlier. If you watched the F1 race, apologies if you don't need spoilers, but P2, P3 and potentially P4, well P1, P2, P3 were all close, but then I'm waffling here. Very close between these three though, and it looks like Stevenson keeps making the same mistake through the market. Big lockups trying to get
Stevenson behind to catch up to him as well. This might be a great mistake here for Maxi.
Yeah, Maxi can't really do anything about that. He's stuck behind Barreau, and kind of Stevenson will be facing similar issues. arrived at the halfway point of this race, and if you've just joined us, we've got another race coming up with a reverse grid, and it will literally be a full-on reverse grid, because normally it's the top 10 that are completely flipped, and the rest of the grid normally stay as they are, but because of the small turnout tonight, there will be a complete reverse grid, so quite interesting. So stick around. Stevenson going for an opportunity on Maximilian Younger. Do they make contact? They do. They do. Neither of them wanting to turn, not turn, but pull out of that one. Poor pull-out game from both of them there. And this will give Barreau a bit of breathing space. And that actually brings Bunn into the picture now. And Moriarty as well. So Stevenson now has to deal with these two.
It is actually quite interesting to mention. We only have 9 laps on the grid here. I don't know off the top of my head one scope, but I'm pretty sure that pretty much every driver here is at least set to score some points. Which obviously helps.
Yeah, you're right.
Even then, we still want to try to retain the position you get and even climb at the failure of someone else.
Yeah, it's good pointing out that yeah, all drivers will be earning points tonight, and on top of that, if Hawk finishes the race, he will be the first driver to win points racing mouse and keyboard, as far as we're aware. And Snowjaeger has made a bit of a mistake there, gets his car back on the track. Not exactly having the most joyous of drives out there, but it's all experience, you know.
Let's see if he can keep it until the end of this race. He'll be starting exactly what he just let's continue. So I see you in P3. Let's get in these We've got Stevenson in P4, Sean Moriarty P5, Anthony Bunn 6th, Ken Valley 7th. Every driver here will still stay, and for these finish the race, you'll get points, which is always good. So, lucky here.
I'm just going to stop you there for a second. Where are you streaming this?
You see, they had quite a lot of luck out there. He started second, unfortunately not on the side he wanted to start, he had to struggle. But really that incident between Stevenson really helped him out right here. Gap is now just starting to say 8.2, 8.3. I think this would be quite a nice, if everyone can keep the positions. A nice younger GP. And I believe from RSR sandwich. Stevenson still following close behind. So he's close now, right on the back now. It'll be interesting to see if he can regain 3 and get himself back into the podium.
8-second gap between first and second, which is quite impressive considering, you know, the nature of the circuit. Lawrence just in a league of his own. Admittedly, you know, his championship rival Stevenson, they made a contact I think on lap 3, maybe 4. So that's put Stevenson on the back foot, now having to deal with traffic. And Hawk has, I believe, made a mistake there. Oh dear, we'll quickly have to do a 3-point turn to get that car turned around. Not easily done on a mouse and keyboard, admittedly. Stevenson all over the rear of Maximilian Younger, and has been for a few laps now. Has broken away from Moriarty. It'll be interesting to see how these drivers cope in the next race in about 4.5 minutes time, when the grid order is reversed.
It will be quite interesting to see if one also get flips for the next race. Okay, it's both in the first position. That will be for the first time ever. Driving is continuing was one race, both of us. I think it will be something. Holding on, he's really pulling away. It's quite incredible. I think in the last 15 minutes or so, it was 40 seconds. That's really quite impressive at the marathon like this. At this point, to be honest, I'm not sure who's going to win. Both of them are very fast. They've been heel and toe right behind each other. So they still keep it motionless, they're free for the remainder of this. I think they will also still be great for this too. But with, importantly, Anthony Barrow, he's brought out a second gap now between Maxi and ultimately just going to get closer to them. Let's also see that shot who's chasing Stevenson a little further away, but just under the second. Oh, that's just Stevenson taking an absolute send through the turn.
Yeah, now the long straight coming up. Stevenson needs to stay as close as possible to Maxi, really, to get any kind of advantage from the toe and make a move on him, but he's too far back this time. We'll have to concede until the next lap. Really the only opportunity they have, unless one of the drivers ahead makes a mistake. Again, if you can stay close going into turn 1 and get a better exit than the driver ahead, this will probably be the next best opportunity to overtake, but due to the nature of the circuit, you know, you end up getting really close to that wall on the exit, and you'd only end up compromising your line if you were going for an overtake. As Maxi now has Stevenson all over his rear, Stevenson needs to stay as close as possible. Unfortunately, we'll have to pull out of that one. This could be a good opportunity for Stevenson coming up, though, if he stays this close, going to the next corner. Actually, looks like he just got a better exit, though. Bit of unsettlement for Stevenson.
Stevenson somewhere goes wide as the was.
Yeah, it'll probably go to the stewards between the incident between Stevenson and Lawrence. Unfortunately, neither of us managed to get a glimpse of what really happened, only the aftermath. And now Stevenson is desperate. He will make a final lunge at the next opportunity. Oh, and he
goes defensive, but Stevenson goes absolutely wide and it's carnage. Between the three of them.
Actually, he won't like that one, I don't think, and Stevenson might have to take a penalty from that. It looked like he was in the wrong on that one. Maxi now having to deal with Moriarty all over his rear. Hopefully he can hold on to fourth for now and get the position back post-race.
Meanwhile, we switch over to Cody Lawrence, who since the crash about the first quarter of the race is absolutely dominated. With a 10.5 second gap between P2 as he crosses the line, finishing first here at Greifswald. First time here for the F3 series. Meanwhile, as we are looking out ahead for Anthony Barreau, who has managed to keep and play it safe here. Stevenson costing. Oh, that's interesting. I think that sums up quite well how things have been going as they were almost trying to drive over the cameraman. But we all know it. The cameraman can never pass. Yeah, Van Aert crossing the line. As we are waiting for our final few drivers. That was quite interesting, that last lap. Quite a lot of drama, I have to say. We might not have many drivers, but that doesn't leave out all of the action that can occur here. You know, yeah. What's your take on that?
I'd say, yeah, I mean, contact between drivers around this circuit is to be expected because of the nature of how the street circuit sort of flows. You know, considering all things, it's been, I'd say, not a fairly clean race, but you know, it could have been worse. So I'm sure there'll be discussions post-race between Lawrence, Stevenson and Maxi, but hats off to the rest of the drivers who aren't necessarily as experienced, at least around this circuit, you know, as Ryan Hawke goes into the pits backwards.
That's interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'm excited to see what happens in the next race. All drivers finishing the race, so congratulations. And yeah, let's see what the next 20 minutes or so brings. Slightly off topic, but just remember when you finish streaming this, if you could export it and upload it to the YouTube, just so it's backed up. Also, I would say link the stream in the chat if you haven't already. Well done, thank you. Drivers quickly will be rushing to the toilets or getting some refreshments, ideally not from the Ryan Hawk making a great start into first, and there's contact between first and second, but Snowjaeger playing it safe by the looks of things and allowing drivers to just make their way past, I guess knowing the potential. But Ryan Hawk leading into the first few corners and has Bun to deal with now. I wonder how long it'll take for Bun to get past. He's weaving his way around, trying to find a way past him. Let's see, can Hawk last a whole lap with his mouse and keyboard set up? He's not doing too bad so far. Let's see, Lawrence being held up by Barreau, Stevenson in P6. Younger, potentially I don't know what I'm trying to say, is one of the drivers with the potential to get on the top step of the podium in this race. 24 minutes will decide what happens. Hawk doing a great job so far though, as Bun now has to deal with Moriarty, and this will probably give Hawk a bit of breathing room as he comes around the last corner now on the start finish straight. And we had our first overtake there, Moriarty getting his way past Bun. A bit of contact there. Very impressive there. Oh no, he's facing the wrong way. No, I spoke too soon. Stevenson up into P3 though, and now has to deal with Moriarty. How many laps will it take to get past him, or will Moriarty be able to fend him off for the end of the race? Let's see, previous results. Moriarty in P8 currently in the championships. Has 2 podium finishes, so he does have a fighting chance. And so far, this is looking great for Hawk, who is breaking a lot of records here tonight. You know, first mouse keyboard driver to lead a lap. First mouse keyboard driver to finish in the points. Not exactly the fastest laps so far. Most drivers in the 38s, including Hawk. Younger will be fuming after that mistake though. It looked like a great move, but you know, very opportunistic, and you know, unfortunately collected with the driver behind him. Hawk making a lot of mistakes there though, and a very unsettled car unfortunately goes straight into the barrier and lets Moriarty through. Just under 21 minutes to go, and now he's holding up Stevenson, and the mistakes are just happening. Stevenson will be sort of patient, looking for the next opportunity. He doesn't want to make a mistake like he did in the last race. All he has to do is just wait for the... No, I was just going to say he's going to wait for the straight to come before he makes the move by the looks of things. But Hawk getting a good exit, to be honest, and that's all you need in this car really, is get your exit lined up properly, and you shouldn't really have to worry about any overtakes. But a bit of a messy entry there into the corner gives Stevenson enough room to get the car around the outside there as they cross the start finish line, and that's Stevenson up into P2 on the next lap, and Hawk not able to control that car, as I can imagine, unless you are very... Yeah. Potentially. I mean, Stevenson's been held up by Moriarty at the moment. I say held up, he's got 2 seconds to catch up to him. But Moriarty will put up a decent fight, I believe. So, you know, Lawrence, once he gets in some clean air, as proven, will just, you know, start laying down the law, and we'll be closing in on the next driver, really, which will be Stevenson. Oh no. Well, you know, he put up a good fight for like over 7 minutes as well, as Hawk makes contact there with Vanet. But to be honest, it was never really on the cards. Very opportunistic to even think that it was possible. But we love to dream.
Ooh, something's happened there.
There's contact between Barrow and Younger even. A lot of scrappiness across the grid, really. The usual offenders. And purple sectors between Cody Lawrence and Steve Stevenson appearing. So the heat is on between those two. Lawrence over 5 seconds behind Stevenson, but we'll keep an eye out on that battle, as we're currently on board with Younger, I believe.
lap now. He's about just under 5.5 seconds down. We've got just 15 minutes to go. I think Cody might just have, if he can keep up the pace, might just be looking at some last lap of Cody's dead. Cody's was also dead by just a few hundreds of seconds.
Yeah, Stevenson just keeping the edge ahead, slightly faster than Lawrence on the last lap. So kind of doing what he needs to do, just be faster, really. Now is going to come across Moriarty, and this will be the deciding factor of whether or not his lap times begin to fall or not. Yeah, surprisingly, Hawk manages to get up into P6. I think Bennett made a mistake, or maybe Hawk just has the pace all of a sudden after getting to the back. Yeah, it goes purple in the last sector. We know Cody has the race pace around here, but can he catch up to Stevenson is the question.
Really trying to look to get my goes wide. Oh, he can't control it. It's really quite impressive what they did damage because it's such a short He must have some suspension damage or he's really struggling. His time is like he is all over the track right now. He's really driving quite aggressive. I wonder if the stewards might want to have something to do with this. Down now to 4.9. It's really decreasing that gap. I think Cody might just have a chance if he can keep up his pace. And you know, it's Sonny's really not helping Stevenson here because he's really backing him up into Cody. Which is quite interesting because of course CRG and UniGP are part of the UniGP conglomerate. So it might be that they are in a chat discussing this one by one, but partially P1ers they have been and part with groups like this, but it's really quite interesting to see. So, in upstairs, Cody Lawrence just a bit up now, just 5.0 seconds.
So the standings in the championship currently Stevenson in P1 with 102 points. I'm sure that's to be decided with the potential post-race penalties. We don't know yet though. P2 goes to Cody Lawrence with 97 points. So only 5 points separating those two. So all to fight for in this second race here. And then we've got Jack Olivier, who isn't racing tonight, unfortunately, with 89 points. And then in 4th place, not too far behind, is Maximilian Younger with 87. So very tight championship at the moment. And in 5th place, we've got Jaap Wagenboort, who unfortunately isn't racing tonight, with 71 points. Yeah, the last lap, Cody Lawrence was faster by about 200ths of a second. Barely anything between them, but still that gap is slowly coming down, but slowly. As just over 8.5 minutes to go now, so those opportunities for overtakes are coming, are reducing as Hawk makes a bit of a mistake there. Stevenson can't seem to get past Moriarty, and kind of witnessing what Cody Lawrence had to deal with in the last race. He's just been stuck behind P2, waiting for that opportunity, hopefully not making contact if there is an overtake. Cody Lawrence faster than Stevenson in the first sector, which is going to happen as Stevenson sort of being held up here. Not by much though, to be honest. Stevenson has probably given it his all, trying to follow the car ahead. I don't think there'll be any sort of wake coming from the car ahead. These cars not very they don't have much complicated aerodynamics, so Cody Lawrence faster in the second sector as well, but again only by about 100th of a second. And I think the third sector will be the deciding factor, where 200ths faster. So as you can see now, under 4 seconds. You can just see him in the background there. Any predictions from you, Case? Who do you reckon is going to come out on the top step here? Is there going to be an upset?
But I think, to be honest, the way things are looking, Stevenson is quite catching up now. Some is really extended, but it's just that run that he might need to do a long straight. If he can nail that perfectly, then I think he might just do it. I mentioned for 1 or 2 laps it looked like the gap was staying the same, and now it's to the leader. As we see it really go big now between Sean and Stevenson.
I think we might see an overtake here. Moriarty parking his car perfectly, but Stevenson forced to go around the outside. Has to break away from the toe, and looks like he's got ahead. Big lock up there, and he's just overshot his marker.
defending. So might have a bit more tire threat left over Stevenson. Get now 5 tenths almost 2.3. Still in
And this could be a deciding factor for who comes out on the top of this championship lead. Stevenson is currently in second. Ideally, he needs to get past Moriarty to just give him a bit of a buffer and put some distance between him and Lawrence. Just under 3.5 minutes to go now. And yeah, I mean, Lawrence has done a fair bit to catch up, but he then will be in a similar position to Stevenson, having to deal with trying to find an overtaking opportunity. And realistically, Stevenson should really just focus on bringing the car home, but you try telling a racing driver that when a race win is just an inch away. Here could be an opportunity. There's Moriarty makes a mistake. And is this another overtake? Yeah, I think so. Lawrence sensed that an overtake was on the cards after Moriarty made that mistake and had a slow exit along the overtake straight, as we'll call it now.
Now it's time for Stevenson leading Cody Lawrence second. Now it's just over a second of the gap. Cody is really going to be saying these next 2 minutes whatever remains of the coming lap. I think we've got 2 laps on the field.
Yeah, I think so, yeah. We could see an overtake on the last lap at this rate. The way Lawrence is eating in to this lead of Stevenson's. And Lawrence knows that he needs to make this overtake if he wants to be ahead in the championship. I could be wrong though, I don't know the points system for the second race, so there could be barely anything between first and second. Let's see.
Stevenson comes back again. His tires really must be suffering from down now to below 5 tenths. This is going to be intense. I think he might just have to make off here. It's close. That's what's this final thrilling lap between the 2 young GP drivers. Sean Moriarty looking on from behind. What could have been for him is now falling away. But still a good from him, will be a great result. He's really chasing behind him now, absolutely sending it. Going to the Vevey corner. Oh, might have a issue. Later than Stevenson. He's going to get a better exit. Just trying to send them in. He's making him aware that he isn't definitely going on. This will be one of his final few opportunities. Under the bridge we go. Now to the right, this will be a few critical corners now for Cody if he wants to take it here. Might just be enough, who knows. All about the exit here now. Looks like Stevenson is going to get the exit there. Trying to leave the brake, turn behind the
Oh, big lockup! And it's going to go to the line. A photo finish between the two. And Lawrence gets to the edge, but there's contact. Very much like 1994 between Damon Hill and Schumacher there. But Stevenson maybe just getting a bit cheeky and trying to make it as close as possible. I don't know if that looked like a genuine mistake considering all previous laps. He was having a big lockup moment into the market. But a great photo finish nonetheless between the two drivers. And that's all she wrote, really. Moriarty finishing off the final podium step, Barreau in 4th, Younger in 5th, Vannet in 6th, Bunn in 7th, Hawke in 8th, and Snowjaeger finishing off the grid in 9th. It's been quite an exciting race, to be honest. As it currently stands, I've not done the points for the second race.
The wheel doesn't even exist. The final driver of this final race, Snowjaeger, finishing in Greifswald. What a spectacle that was at Greifswald here in Germany. So that's so nice. Donuts and a grinder too. To have going into the abyss, and there will be an in-forward themed ambulance waiting just right for him. Alright, so let's head over to the interview if anyone is interested.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's a shame it's a small turnout, admittedly, but these guys still put on a great race for us to watch, and it was always going to be a race between Stevenson and Cody Lawrence. They always give their all. I mean, all the drivers do, but these two are in a league of their own, and you couldn't really tell who was going to come out on top, even with the amount of practice both drivers likely put in prior to the race. But yeah, Cody Lawrence winning the first race and probably helped his championship chances. by earning a few more points than you would have got in the second race. Stevenson staying ahead and to be honest, getting ahead of Moriarty. Lawrence too, admittedly, but Stevenson making that move when it mattered the most, and just taking the edge in the championship is very much needed for him. Really fun to watch between drivers across the grid, really. And I mean, I'm sure Ryan Hawke will be considering purchasing a wheel as soon as possible now. You'd assume so anyway. I don't see this continuing on to Spa. Hello there.
Man. I think Greifswald might be my Baku, because that is the best the car has felt. I've struggled with feeling in this car for as long as we run it in sprint that I've raced it, and today it finally felt like I got on the top of the balance and had something I could really push. I hope that showed in the pace that I had in the race. Maybe not in qualifying, but in the race, that felt really good. Ran down like an 8-second gap to Sean and Steve. I tried to go around the outside last corner. We just made a little bit of contact. In fact, down of course from Steve's side, but he's actually trying to let me through at the end. I kind of broke at the line because I didn't want to take it that way. But that was actually really fun, having a car that I finally felt confident in for once, and maybe only once. We'll see. I love that question because, my affinity to Sergio Perez, and he's very good at the street circuits when he's got the car under him. He's confident, and for some reason, this track just clicks with me. I think it's a combination of just the narrowness, the precision that's needed. I think a lot of it is actually throttle control, because you have this undulation in the circuit, like the uphill right-hand corner. You have to be very smart with the throttle. You have to be very precise. You have to be world-class with it, I would say. And I just had that level of confidence that I could push on a street circuit like this. I never considered myself a street circuit specialist, but I had really, really good feeling. And when you have really, really good feeling and you just know what you want the car to do and how to get it to do what you want it to do, it's a good combination. And 3/10 away from sweeping both of the races, but to make up an 8-second gap like that against John and Steve, who are no slouches at all. I know they were fighting a little bit. That's what kind of led to the gap kind of dropping the way it did. But that takes a lot of effort. It takes a lot of precision to accomplish, and I'm happy to have been able to accomplish that. We'll see how it carries going to Spa. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. This was a lot of fun. I'm gonna have to make Maxi do a street circuit only schedule. Maybe I could win a championship of these cars with them. But yeah, no, I that might be the best race I have all season. We'll see. I'd like to say Macau could go well for me. Maybe it will with the street circuit idea, but hey, I'm going to enjoy the form I had today. We'll see how it carries on, and hopefully it does.
Yeah, thank you for putting on a great show.
It's I've never considered myself good at Macau. It's a circuit I enjoyed driving the lap of. I'm not sure how well it will race, especially just how tight and narrow Sector 2 will be. But having actually tried it with a friend driving this car around there, it'll be fun to drive. I promise, really fun to drive. Maybe I could take some of what I learned from this setup today and make it work for Macau, and hopefully it will. But we'll see how the racing will be for Macau, but the driving the track itself will be excellent. Never considered myself good at Spa. It's a track that you might hate me for it. It's not like I wouldn't say I don't enjoy. It's just the circuit I'm more indifferent to. I appreciate the history and whatnot of it, but as a lap, it's not something that I'm necessarily strong at. So, let's see how it goes for next week then. Maybe I can figure something out. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Yeah, you're right there. Cody Lawrence really kind of putting on a show for us, and really appreciative of the small turnout regardless. These guys are what keeps this league alive, and hats off to Christoph Boozer again for creating such a interesting and nice insight into his hometown in Greifswald. Don't dox him, please. But yeah, like you said, we've got Spa coming up in 2 weeks' time, is it? A week's time. Spa is coming up, basically. So if you enjoyed this race, please, come back or even just join the league and participate in the community. We always welcome anyone in that sense. But yeah, let's call it a night there, shall we? I've been Fion/KilgyFee/KilgyT/ whatever you want to call me, I guess. And you've been Case Wilhelms. You got anything else you want to? Thank you.